Well, another week, another celebrity meltdown. Hollywood is still buzzing with the news of Brittney Spears being forcibly taken to a mental hospital on Friday morning.
But then it emerged that Grey's Anatomy hottie Justin Chambers, also known as Dr. Alex Karev, had checked himself into the very same facility only days earlier due to exhaustion. Now, our resident psychologist Jo Lamble is on the couch to tell us more. Good morning to you, Jo.
Good morning, Jo.
Firstly, we had actor Owen Wilson attempting suicide. Now, Brittney and Justin seeking treatment. How can people who seemingly seem to have it all be so unhappy?
As if we needed further proof that fame and fortune doesn't guarantee you happiness. There it is. Listen, 1 in 5 people will suffer from depression sometime in their life. And as we discussed here on the couch on Thursday, we're talking about clinical serious depression, not just having a rough patch. And, you know, we know that sometimes if they've had it in the family, they're more likely to get depressed, and stress can trigger it. And celebrities have got families, and celebrities have got a lot of stress, so they're not, you know, protected from it.
All right, we've been talking about it. Everybody's been talking about it. Brittney Spears gone from the very top of the pops, the pop darling, to a total tragic mess. What do you think's happened?
From what we're seeing and hearing, I mean, I don't think there's any doubt she's got a serious mental illness, something like bipolar disorder that used to be called manic depression. Could be drug-induced, it could have been in the family and it might be coming out now. And the signs of that are the fact that, you know, reported lack of sleep, the irritability and anger outbursts, irrational behaviour such as shaving your head in public, reckless behaviour, all of those are signs.
But Jo, we all know people who suffer from illnesses similar to that or similar to that, and that still doesn't go to these lengths.
Well,
it doesn't get to this deep and this dark.
Well, I think the trouble is we can see it. I mean,
Right.
Sure, she's had the pressures of fame when she was young, and yes, she doesn't seem to have a supportive family or a team around her, but that's why I think there's something seriously going on, but she hasn't been treated for it. She has been self-medicating for years with drugs and alcohol, and we know that doesn't work. In fact, it could have caused it in the first place, so I think that's the key.
Is that right, Jo, that drugs and alcohol can bring on mental illnesses? Is that right?
Yes, certainly. Right. There's some that therefore it wouldn't be something like bipolar. It would be a drug-induced psychosis, which she could have. And again, if she's got a drug-induced psychosis and keeps taking the drugs, then yeah, she's going to be in real trouble, as we see.
Okay, let's move. Justin Chambers, the longest in a long list. His is said to be exhaustion. Now, is that a medical phrase or a euphemism for something else?
Yeah, it's funny, Sean Tate, the cricketer, was also talking about exhaustion. So sometimes it can just be physical and emotional exhaustion. But to check into a psychiatric hospital, he must have been feeling pretty bad. Normally people admit themselves because they feel like they just can't cope and they need someone to take care of them. In the old days, we used to talk about nervous breakdowns. Yes. And that was a horrible term, but what it just meant was someone felt really depressed and they couldn't cope. And they might go into hospital for a few days or a week or two, get assessed, maybe get medicated if they need it, and most importantly, hopefully get followed up and look at the issues underneath it.
And that's great because he is helping himself,
That's
whereas
right.
Seemingly Brittney hasn't helped herself.
I think there's a huge difference between Justin, who sounds like he's feeling exhausted or maybe it's depressed, and Brittney, who really is out of control and it's quite serious.
When we're talking about these Hollywood types, and I suppose we're talking about the depression and exhaustion being magnified many, many times over when they're doing it in front of 200 paparazzi, yeah?
Yeah, because if you look at that stat I talked about before, 1 in 5 people, so that's a lot of celebrities who are in danger there.
Right.
But if you're in the public eye, you're going to be far less likely to admit that you need help and to go and get it, aren't you? And so it's far easier to just work the long hours they do on their various projects, as well as then going out partying all night and, you know, forgetting about it.
So how does someone recover when they're dealing with a very personal problem, but they're doing it in the public eye?
Got to get out of the public eye. You know, hopefully, I'm so happy to hear this morning that stay for Brittney's been extended. Hopefully she'll stay in hospital for at least a month and then move. I mean, she really needs to get away and be fully treated and monitored for a long time, and she's not allowed access to her boys at the moment anyway, so she can remove herself. And, I mean, is it fanciful for me to think that the media could just stay away and let her recover? And it sounds like the court's trying to do something, but not just have an exclusion zone around her. Couldn't they just get together and say...
It's the biggest front page story in the world, isn't it? They're not going to stop, are they? Because the photos are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, but then when something tragic's going to happen, you know, the finger's going to be pointed, and it's just a horrific story, and she is deeply troubled. But as you say, lots of people suffer from mental illness, but with the right treatment and support, of course, they're...
So her only real chance is just to be away from that for a long time.
Yeah, she just cannot do it under that intention. No way in the world.
Jo, good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Jo. Well, coming up, calls to bring back the cane to discipline teenagers, but is it the answer?
First though, Glenn's got some advice for choosing the right insurance.